that's a complicated piece. And that's why it's not something that I would ever recommend to start with, even though it has some scaly situations with some distances. Because by the time he got to that, his hands were ready to tackle some more things. So it's very important to get to do things when the hands are ready with the more basic stuff, because then it's not such a challenge. And also, it's simply very difficult to show some of those things when there are all kinds of other issues. If somebody cannot do, not able to do the basic work, we just have to help them as much as we can within, the situation that they're in. But that's it. It will not go deeper into really setting up a whole bottom-up, whole foundation that can last, what I say, for a lifetime, if everything stays the same. Okay, so let's go to what measure?
It's measure 43.
Okay, there's a lot of issues with fingering here also. Okay, so what?
Yeah. I feel stuck.
Stuck.
Especially in this.
Okay, so I have a question to you. Here. Okay. What is the shaping here? Because I think that here maybe there's in and out, but it could be also that the shaping is not getting you to the right place. What's the shaping here? What do you think? And what do you think that you're right and what? That's right. Is that what you're feeling?
Yeah.
You sure? Let's try. Let's try. Okay. So he thought under, but it wasn't an under. Now, how do I know it's not an under? I want to show you. At the end of an under, let's see if I did the same thing. There are also ins and outs here. At the end of an under, you're on your way up. Between here, this is an under shape. The fourth thing is already playing forward. Because it's the beginning of the over shape. Everything is related and everything is linked, and that's what happens with all the movements. So the last note of the over shape is the G, but it's also the first note of the under shape. And the second note of the under shape is the first note of the over shape. So we have to measure it. We can just go like that. But he didn't have, like this is an out with a forward. All of them, all those outs have a forward. Because of the under shape. You are not, so what the under shape does, it sets you up for the next over shape. And if it's not like that, it's not set up, for the next over shape. So this is, I want to show you, he has the right answer. But the hands didn't do it. So as teachers, if a person says, first of all, they have to say the right thing. If they know, sometimes they don't know, you just show. But it's good to always ask questions, because that's what creates independence of thinking. You take the material and you begin to ask questions. And when you can't answer, you go to the teacher. In the beginning, you really don't have much, to work with. But as you're doing it, and sometimes I have to reframe the questions for them, for greater clarity. But that's how we have to observe, Yeah, he said the right thing, because he's smart. Okay, now be smart physically.
Okay.
Right. And it works with the in and out. Right. How's that?
But I'm not still,
Yeah.
what follows, I always feel stuck in this.
You're stuck, yeah. When you have, that's a very good point. When you have the two fingers like that on the two white keys here, which are so narrow, you feel stuck unless, where are you? Here. The in and out is the savior of that. Because you're coming a little bit out, you go forward, you see, you play it too much here. So you feel it, it's not even much push in and out, it's more forward. And you see how my fingers release? The fingers that are finished have to release over and also into the neutral position, which is this. So that's this, and the lesson will work on making the in and out more precise, unless you bring it and it's exactly right. How's that? Right, how's that? When it goes a little bit forward, you lose that, the combination of that and the tiny rotation underneath solves the problem of crowding there. One more thing, and we call it a day.
It's measure 46. I still have trouble with the liquid. These ones we usually find from here to here, but when I have to go back, it
Okay.
fails.
Can I try it? Okay, so it's a question again how to feel secure. You're not sure that you're going to make 46. By the way, you also can go, well, it doesn't matter, whichever finger you will go up, because, you know, I give the choice also of doing 2, 1, 2, either that. You know what I would like you to do? Get there, but I want the elbow actually to stay closer to you, because, you see, you can go like this, if it came back in another way, but what happens here, going right back, you don't want the elbow to be, the arm to be too out. You want it to be, this is still a good place to be. So, could you try just to keep your elbow more at your side here? You may be moving too far to the D. So again, it's an issue of context that you want to be, let's see if that works. It may not work, then I have to look at something else. Or to be somewhere, if you took just from here to here, where would your elbow be? Yeah, but don't go up in the air. Right, how's that?
Yeah.
And the elbow wasn't there, the elbow was more here.
Yes.
Yeah, so you see, so there is the question of, again, the detail and context. There's a detail and there's the context, where are we going next? Because that fifth finger could be in more than one place and be right, depending on what's coming next. So it would have been right for another situation, but it's not right for going back to the C sharp. Okay, try it now. Right, the only thing I would suggest is not, I would call it, this is within legato leaves. They're not legatissimo, but you're thinking I'm standing here and letting the forearm just go there. There you go. Okay. There's a totally different feeling not to release when it shouldn't. When it doesn't need to be released, the release will feel wrong. When it needs to be released and be staccato, then that's the only way it will feel right. Good. Good. Okay.
Also, is this going to be connected or?
Let's see. Just gonna lose my place. You know something? Can we work it at the lesson, because I have a couple of possibilities for fingering. Okay, and I think maybe you took some of them, because I see it there. One second. You're asking me if this is a...
No, from E to the...
No, I would let go a little bit. I would do the grouping like that. Right. But you see, I'm keeping it, no, but this is legato. Right. Do it again.
Yeah, I was disconnected.
Okay, so where he needed to disconnect, he didn't, and when he needed to be legato, he disconnected. So also we have to be, in other words, it's that there is a little bit, a little let go, again for a better grouping, happens here, but this to that should feel legato. So for whatever reason, somehow music is written in a way that where you do the right thing, it will feel just right. And if something that is connected, you do a little bit disconnected, it's not going to feel right. It's just the nature of things. So part of it is really, that's the nature of things. Hugo, you did great. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.